Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Alex. Today is Friday. All right, it's Friday night, and my cell phone's not 100% fully operational, so don't take it personal if you can't see my face 100% of the time. Maybe by the end of this month, or maybe either October or November, I will get a brand new cell phone with a new cell phone camera. Now, I can't guarantee right away a new cell phone with a new cell phone camera because I know I'm going to get some complaints in the comment section saying, man, I can't see your face 100%. It's an old cell phone, it's an old camera. It is time for a new one. All right, so let's cut to the chase. The title of the YouTube video is going to be called Sex Game Truth versus Not Telling the Truth. And it's for women and for men, young or old, black or white. Now, there are some people who actually saw the YouTube video that I did 2 or 3 days ago called Sex Game 2020 Report. Now, for the most part, most people actually understood exactly where I was coming from in my perspective of what was going on from the month of February or March all the way to September. So you can say from 4 to 6 months, or you can say now 7 months of 2020 of the accident. And there was a small 25, 35% minority group who felt that I actually disrespected them. Now, number one, I wasn't trying to disrespect no man or woman, young or old, black or white, and I wasn't trying to disrespect no parents or grandparents. I was trying to give my perspective. Now, before I go further in the video, let me say this. I apologize to any parents or grandparents, that means black or white and Latino, if I offended you or disrespect you in any manner, shape, or form. I apologize. The purpose of that YouTube video was to try to explain from my perspective of what I feel like is going on in 2020. That's what the purpose of that video was for. Now, I did say there are some people in their 50s and their 60s and their 70s, and you know how I know there were some people that were offended by that video? Because I went to Panda Express 24 hours ago, and there was an Asian lady who's a manager who pretty much looked at me and said, you could have said the video, but it's not what you said, it's how you say it. So there's an old saying, and that old saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it that angers and upsets people. Now, you could pretty much say that I don't have no kids and I don't have no grandkids, and that's confirmed. I don't have no kids or no grandkids, and I have no idea whatsoever what it means to have kids and grandkids. And I have no idea at all what it means to be in your 50s, your 60s, or your 70s. So that's also 100% confirmed. Because I talked to my auntie and she told me you have no idea what it feels like to be a mother or grandmother or a father or a grandfather until you one day get kids and grandkids. You have no idea, no clue whatsoever what that feels like. So when you make YouTube videos, you need to be making videos that pertain to your own target audience and not be trying to talk to people that's in their 50s and 60s and 70s because you don't understand what that's about and you don't know what that's about 100%. So those are her words. You know, she told me today, so that lets you know right there are some people who are not happy with the fact that I made the video. Now, keep in mind, I am 34 years old. I was born January 1986. Now, next year I'll be 35, then 36, then 37, then 38, then 39, then 40 years old. Now, I eventually will get kids and grandkids, and I eventually will have an idea and a clue what that feels like in a good way and in the bad way. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. I promise you the video is not going to be super long. It's probably going to be 10 to 15, maybe 17 minutes. All right. Now, back when I was in junior high, there was this one Latino man that I have the highest respect for because he was in the military for about 6 years. I don't know if he was a Green Beret or if he was a Marine, but he was in the military for 6 years. And in junior high, I was a egotistic jackass. And one day I came late to class, and he made me stand outside for about 45 minutes. Now, at first, I thought I was going to go to the principal's office, and he said, no, I got something better than that. I got something that's 5 to 10 times better than that. So he made me stand outside, and it didn't take long. It only took like 25, 35 minutes out of 45 minutes to realize why he made me go outside. He wanted me to see that I was rude and disrespectful and wrong. And a lot of my friends, they walked by, they laughed at me, they made fun of me. And the other teacher pulled his window and said, "It's not funny when you don't tell the truth." See, there goes that word again, tell the truth. It's not funny when you don't tell the truth. And when he brought me back in, he said, "You know why I brought you outside?" I said, "For punishment." So I didn't just do it to punish you. I did it because you think it's okay to go through life not lying and not telling the truth. Then you'll be doing it in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s, and you will think it's okay to do that, and then someone has to stop you. So I want to stop it now, so when you get older, you'll understand how to have more respect for people of all ages. Even when you get older, you still have to respect people much older than you. And looked at me and said, "That's why I did it to you." So after that painful lesson, I learned to come to class on time. But you already know what I'm about to say in this movie. But that was just one taste of what was going to happen. The next time when I went to high school was Westchester High School from 2001 to 2005. Now, I cannot name the man's first and last name because he could be watching this YouTube video, and a lot of my YouTube videos go viral, and we don't want him to see this video and go, "Don't be saying my first and last name, Alexander." And he was a hardcore hard ass, okay? He didn't take no shit from nobody. And one day I met him in the meeting and he asked me a question from out of nowhere. And he looked at me and said, "Do you know the difference between a man and a coward?" And I said, "A coward is somebody that's run away and hide." And he said, "You're half right, you're half wrong. A coward is somebody that lies, there go that word again, lie, and don't tell the truth when they're confronted by a person who wants to know what they did wrong based on their actions. A man is someone who owns up to the responsibilities and admit when they said and done something wrong." And the purpose of him giving me that conversation was like an insight that you will eventually make a mistake. I did. So one day I went in and I came late. I came like 25 minutes late to class. He was like a math teacher and he also was the football coach of the Westchester High School. So the Comets with the black and red, the football team, Westchester High in California, he was the coach at that time. And I came like 25 minutes late to his math class. So I came in there, put my homework in the folder, and he said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what you doing, Alexander?" I said, "I'm putting my homework in the..." "No, no, don't do nothing, Alexander." Like everybody put their pencils down, everybody put their classwork assignment down and looked in my direction, and I'm looking like, "Why y'all staring at me?" Like my homeboy already knew what was about to happen. He couldn't tell me, but he gave off the facial expression, you fucked up because you came 25 minutes late to class. And you ain't supposed to come 25 minutes or 20 minutes late to class, and you did. And all of a sudden, he go outside. So I looked at him and said, "I can't control what time the school bus come." He said, "What you say?" I said, "I can't control what time the school bus comes. Get your ass outside." So I got sent outside. When I got sent outside, it happened again. I sat there and I stayed out there for 45 minutes. And just like in junior high, I had flashbacks. And in the flashbacks, I'm being laughed at, I'm being made fun of. And he brought me back in and said, "I did it because you were disrespectful to me. I asked you a question, I wanted you to give me an answer, and you didn't give me no answer. I want the correct answer. I came late." "Well, you should have said you came late. You don't tell me, oh, the bus came late, so I don't want to hear that." And that was the second time. And he said, "Because I asked you to tell the truth." Said, "I go to the word again." The third time, this one, this one has a strong and powerful, profound effect on me. And when I mean it, I mean it. Y'all know who Luther Martin King Jr. is, right? Well, I actually met his daughter, his biological daughter. At that time, she was like in her late 50s, early 60s, and she already had kids. So she already had kids and grandkids. And she came to Westchester High School to come visit us. Because, it was like maybe 1 week before or 1 week after his birthday had passed. And they found out that my birthday was on January 19th. So they decided to set up a special surprise for me. Not to celebrate my birthday, but to give me a life lesson. Because, she heard from the principal, the assistant principal, and the teachers that I was an egotistic asshole. And for me being an egotistic asshole, I got a consequence. She came and out of all the kids that she could talk to in high school, she looked dead in my face and she looked at me and said, "Look at my face, young man." And I basically looked at her with some candy. She said, "Put the candy down and look at my face. You got a problem with telling the truth?" And, at that time when I was young, dumb, and stupid and didn't know any better, she looked at me and said, "I don't care if somebody laugh at you, talk bad about you, or make fun of you. You always tell the truth no matter what happens." And, being a jackass as a kid, I looked at her and said, "But people tell the truth, they get a consequence." So she looked at me and said, "Look at it from this perspective. What if 10, 15, 20 years from now, or 50 years from now, that information could be used to help the next generation? You could help somebody in high school, college. You could help somebody at your job. You could help somebody in the future, 10, 15, 20, or even 50 years from now. If you're selfish and self-centered, then you're being a coward and you're lying and not telling the truth." See, there go that word again, lying and not telling the truth. And she told me there's two types of people. There's people who tell the truth and there's people who lie. The people who lie, they know that they could tell the information, but they keep it to themselves. And that's when I told her about, all the people in history. And she told me when she was a little girl, she met Malcolm X. She met Muhammad Ali. And she told me that if she had the chance, if she had more time, because she was visiting high schools, colleges in 10 days, and then she was going to go back down south and visit some more high schools and colleges. So she only stayed in California for like 2 days, and then it was off going to other schools and colleges. And she told me, "I don't care if somebody laugh at you, make fun of you. I don't care if somebody tease you. You always tell the truth." And she had a serious look on her face, so she wasn't playing around. She wasn't, joking. She was serious. And that had a powerful, profound effect on me because I had never met somebody like that. Like, you don't ever expect to meet the kids or grandkids of Malcolm X or Luther Martin King Jr., but I did. And it was the third time that I got confronted about not telling the truth. So the title of the video is called Sex Game: The Truth versus Not Telling the Truth for Women and Men. Now, I apologize to the parents and the grandparents if you thought I was picking on you or saying people that's in their 50s, 60s, and 70s are disenfranchised. It's me trying to explain to people my age and younger than me, what's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. See, when it's all said and done, when I'm finished with YouTube in the future, whether it's 10, 15, 20 years from now, I will leave a legacy. And the $1 billion question that gets asked in history: which kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Do you want to leave a good legacy behind or a bad legacy? Do you want to change something in history, or do you want history to say that Alexander was an asshole, he was selfish, he was self-centered, he never tried to help no one, he never tried to give some information to people? See, in history, people come along and they try to give you the information. Like, you look at the governor of California, right? He only gives you 45 to 50%, sometimes 60% of the truth. He never gives you 100% of the truth because he understands in the back of his mind that if he tells the truth, one group of people hate him. He don't tell the truth, another group of people hate him. And you got somebody like Muhammad Ali, right? One of the greatest professional boxers of all times, Muhammad Ali, three-time world heavyweight champion, Golden Globes champ, won 2 USA gold medals in the Boxing Hall of Fame. And Muhammad Ali would tell the truth inside the boxing ring. He would tell the truth outside the boxing ring. Malcolm X told the truth, and they gave Malcolm X a consequence. Luther Martin King Jr. told the truth and got a consequence. Muhammad Ali, they took his boxing license. Made Muhammad Ali wait almost 4 years just to get back into the boxing ring. And I made a YouTube video last week that angered and offended some people. Now, there are some people that have kids and grandkids that are parents and grandparents. Now, I wasn't trying to make the kids and grandkids turn against the parents or the grandparents. And I wasn't trying to say if you're a parent or a grandparent to, belittle your kids and your grandkids. the video got lost in translation because what I was trying to explain was from my perspective. So when I said in the next 5 to 10 years, I'm telling you what's going to happen based off of 2020. It's not easy making YouTube videos. Sometimes I have good days. Sometimes I have bad days. I went to Panda Express less than 24 hours ago, and I got a prediction. It said, address your setbacks this week. Translation, be prepared to go on camera and address your fuck ups. So I made some mistakes. I made some miscalculations. Now, I'm not in my 50s or my 60s or my 70s to know what it feels like to be a parent or a grandparent, because I do not have no kids or no grandkids. And like I said at the beginning of this YouTube video, my auntie told me you don't make YouTube videos trying to tell parents and grandparents how to raise their kids at all unless you're a parent or a grandparent. So that's from her perspective. So did I cross the boundaries? I probably did. Most of y'all understand where I'm coming from. And the reason why I'm making this response video to that video that I made was because the purpose of calling it 2020 report is to tell you what I think's going on in 2020. A lot of us can relate to the truth. Like, there's no nice side of telling the truth. There's the ugly truth. There's the sad truth. There's the truth. There's the truth. They always say ugly truth because there's no Baskin Robbins nice, pretty version of ice cream of telling the truth. The truth is the truth. Like when you went to the H&R's office, we all have had jobs. We have all been there. Young and old, black or white, don't matter if you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s. We've all been there where we've been told, I'm sorry, but we got to let you go. And they said sorry because it was hard for them to tell the truth. If you're in your 20s or 30s and you were in high school, you can relate to this a lot. When you came home and you had that report card and you brought home some B minuses, you brought home some C minuses, some D's, some fails, and you got that 3-hour speech like I did. We're supposed to pass all our classes with good grades in high school and college. We're supposed to graduate high school and college. So Group A wants you to tell the truth. Group B wants you to tell the truth, but they don't like how you tell the truth. And then there's Group C. And Group C is sometimes it's better just not to just say anything at all. There's another old saying. Sometimes if you don't have nothing nice to say, you just don't say it at all. But history also have taught us that if you tell the truth, you get a consequence. If you don't tell the truth, you get a consequence. So basically what I'm saying is I could have made that YouTube video 2 months. I could have made it in October, November, December, and the same reaction still would have actually happened. That means when I see a lot of y'all in person, whether it's the bus or on the train, and you get angry and upset, that's not going to change the reality that I made the video. I fucked up. We all make mistakes. We're all human beings. I have my good days. I have my bad days of making YouTube videos. Did I anticipate that it would take 4 to 6 months or 7 months of me doing all these YouTube videos and the whole world watching this video? No, I did not anticipate that, so that's one of my fuck-ups. That's not your fault, that's my fault. Did I anticipate that I would get some positive and negative reactions? No, I didn't expect that either. That's not your fault, that's my fault. Did I expect that the way that I said the video was taken the wrong way? That's not your fault, that's my fault. So I'm not trying to get no one to feel sorry for me. I'm not trying to get no one to pity me. I know what I said. It's not what you say, it's how you said it. I probably said it wrong. I'm pretty sure if I showed the video to my dad, he'd probably be looking at me with that look like we don't say that on camera. We don't say that to people that's in their 50s, their 60s, and their 70s. We find a more respectable and intelligent way. Now, I did spoke very intelligent in that YouTube video as I'm speaking very intelligent. This is to address that particular video because as a YouTube content creator, we have to address the issue. So I'm addressing the issue. I'm not perfect. I have good days. I have bad days. Sometimes I say the right stuff. Sometimes I say some stuff that people question. And sometimes people will watch these videos and will understand everything in the video. And then there's some times where people go, I don't know, I'm confused. So this was just to try to explain what my whole goal was with that video. I don't want to take up no more of your time. Until next time, peace.